It was kind of by accident. I took a community involvement course in high school, a co-op placement program, where you volunteered 15 hours a week. And the school had arranged through a number of what they called agencies throughout Burlington, which is where I grew up, that the kids are going to take on kids 15 hours a week, blah, blah, blah. So you make your three choices, your top three choices. My first choice, sad to say, was the cable station. I wanted to be a TV cameraman, really, as a kid. So my second choice was radio because it was media related. And the third choice, I don't even remember. It had nothing to do with it. So we all went for our interviews, and each agency took on a certain number of students, depending on the size of that agency. I think the cable station was taking on 6 kids or 10 kids or something like that. So I went in for my interview, was told I wasn't the media type. I don't know what that means, still. And my second choice was the radio station. And I got the radio gig because they lived so far away, or the station was so far away from the nearest bus stop, that they needed somebody who had their own car to make sure they were there every day. I had a car. So I won. There was myself and one other girl who applied. I got the radio gig. I started there October the 1st of 82, and by the end of that first week, thought, wow, this is really cool. I was working in the studio, production studio, just doing essentially everything. Nothing that went on the air, but any little Joe job they needed me to do. And eventually I was learning to splice tape when they actually still had recording tape at the time with splicing tape. And I thought, well, this is really cool. I can edit things. I can take things out here and there. And they had me run the board in the control room Christmas Day of 82, which is the first time I'd been in that room by myself. My supervisor wasn't there. There was no one else in the station. And I operated the board for 8 hours that day and got paid for it. And when I came back, I actually had to go on the air the last hour. It was funny. They ran Christmas greetings that day instead of commercials. Bob Sunoco wishes you and yours, blah, blah, blah. So I've got scripts in front of me, and I've got all these greetings on a 10-inch reel at the back of the room. And every 15 minutes, I'd run one. And I'd follow the script, and when the spot ended, I hit the play button, off to music I went. Get to 3 o'clock, I'm on till 4. There are no more greetings, but I have the scripts. So the announcer forgot to record them, which meant I had to go on the air and read them. I was 18, just. And the guy who was coming on after me at 4 o'clock was German. They had German programming. It was a very eclectic station. I asked him to go on and read these for me. He said, no, you do it. And he walked out. So I had to go on the air 4 times that last hour and read these things, passing broken glass the whole time, right? Sweat's pouring off of me. Didn't make any mistakes. When I got to my family's home for a Christmas dinner, my dad piped up and said, of course, they've been listening all day. Who was that on the radio for the last hour? It didn't sound like the same guy. Well, that was me. That was you. Well, told the whole story. No one cared. I come back to the radio station after my semester Christmas break. Not only did my supervisor at work not know that I was on the air, but he offered me a job because he heard that everything ran very smoothly. I was on my own in the control room and blah, blah, blah. So for my last month of high school, that semester, I was working for my parents. I was working at the radio station getting paid for it and earning credits. And it worked out that when my semester finished a month later, they took me on full time. And then I worked there for 2.5 to 3 years until I got a job in Toronto.